After 4 days, I was stuck in the Bavarian Alps between Chiemgau and Lermoos.
It is so slow and shady.
Turn point 2 on the second day, and I was at the back of the pack. On the third day, I had a good start in the high mountains. Top landed Kitzbühel turn point.
Wow, one extreme to the other, eh? I was scratching around over the trees, thinking I might have to land and walk in the heat, and now I'm up here. As if it couldn't get any worse, now we have to fly all the way out to the lake and back.
Ticked off my most hated turn point, Chiemgau.
Day 4, 5 AM, getting some special attention.
So the goal today is to cross the Intal before the thermic flow. Straight ahead is where I want to launch. There's not a lot happening, there's a lot of north in the inn, even early this morning.
So the Bavarian Alps is a bit of a labyrinth, and it's easy to get lost in there, especially when cloud base is pretty low, and sometimes it's hard to find a launch, and I spent quite a lot of hours of this day walking to find launches, and in that time the Italian got well ahead of me. You really had to stay in the air, but it was tricky, so I fell a bit behind this day, and the pressure was on for elimination. I had another day to get ahead on day 5.
This is where I stayed last night. It's locked, unfortunately, but did have the shelter because there was storms, and probably would have been a bit better if I had my toothbrush and my inflatable mat, but it was alright. I was thinking about making a tent, but gave that idea a miss. Yeah, beautiful view. It was misty before, but I just dozed in at 6 AM now, and it looks really good. You can see the Bavarian wind spilling over that coal, but I was thinking about hiking over to this peak. It's already got some clouds on it, and going for a fly. Yeah, Lermoos is too far to get to by foot, so flying's the best option.
I missed the turn off the track that goes up the ridge and didn't want to go back, so I went through a whole bunch of this shit, swimming through that, trying to follow animal trails, and now the last bit to get back onto the track is wet grass. My feet are already a bit damp, so I have to be really careful about that, especially if we're planning on doing a bit of walking tonight. Come on. This southwesterly, but it's got a bit more east in it at the moment, is really starting to pick up and makes me think maybe I should have gone for a really early glide instead of this shenanigans. So, Bavaria, let's get that behind me. Well, it'll be a while yet. I'm under a lot of pressure. Elimination tomorrow morning. If I don't overtake at least Gavin or someone. So the idea was to glide to there, Carvendel, and then basically saw this wind that's picking up, because it doesn't seem very good for thermaling through here, low cloud base. My tyre base on the other side. Yeah, it's, I don't know, 9 k's or something to there, so it'll be pretty low by the time I get there, so maybe I can get a little bit of extra height run. Or not even right outside this. Good glide so far, but it might be hard getting in front of this. Probably the winds haven't mixed. Oh, they have probably. We'll see. Zeros. Trying to improve things for the glide over. 5 metres. Work better over here, hopefully. Well, I've gained over 100 metres now. I might have just scraped in here. Started low on those cliffs. Oh gosh. So much on the line. Asked Vicky they could get some food into me here. Thought I might be landing, but then I said things are improving. Stags down there in the dough. A chamois to show scale. Just got a little half a dozen turns off that point, and I'm trying to get up on this now. just under 1700 metres.
All this tricky flying was getting me way off course, but I was hoping conditions would improve.
Just crossed a relatively shallow pass. It's a different kind of freaking out. I don't want to land, I don't want to land. I think I should be good. This is more into sun over there. Must be cliffs low down if I can't. Well, it's sort of almost maintaining my height here, just losing it gradually. Surely it's going to get better though. It's a bit mixed up the area. It's very strong upper winds today.
So yeah, this tricky crossing and around the corner, and I needed to get high, but I couldn't manage to get high, and then popped through the pass and got lower and lower, and a lot of booby traps today. The wind was coming through from the north.
I've come up to the top of this scree slide because the anabatic lift has been pretty weak. Disappointing. Didn't pull the wing over to a nice flattish spot there, and I don't know what I did wrong before. Maybe I needed to top up. I thought I'd done the hard bit, you know. I suppose it's when it gets you. There's just a little bit of breeze coming up. I think I can do a reverse. Out of here. Super unstable walking up that gully. Keeping my footing, well not really. So there was northerly from a valley behind, the Bavarian wind was pushing through there. So I came out here and then I scooted back because I wasn't high enough to really get, I was just getting nailed and pushed out from the slope. And then I went back to where I was, tried to get some height, but I was losing height slowly, so I tried the other side of the valley just in case, and then I had to land. So even though it's quiet on the ground, these cliffs should help. Yeah, still a long way to Lermoos. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the last one there unless Gavin's made a pretty bad mistake. Look at that dust and the fucking wind. I'm in trouble here. Okay, I'm in not trying to win the xalps' mode, just trying to survive mode now. I'm quite lightly loaded as well, which doesn't help in this situation. Probably in wave now. Doesn't seem like the wind's mixed down here.
I still don't understand why it was so windy. It just piped up during my flight. There was nothing on the launch. And yeah, it was pretty scary. I had no reception the whole time until I landed, and then I tried to figure out what was going on and ended up deciding to have another crack walking up that valley just around there to the left, which is the wrong place to go, but you'll see what happens next anyway.
That could be the end of my xalps, I think.
Well, what the hell is going on in this valley? It looks like it's being flushed. Oh, it's so weird. I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it's light, but this is a really bad sign over the back. What the hell is going on here? I didn't feel any of that crazy wind
walking up the hill. This is in that middle level. I thought I saw it coming up here before. I wasn't sure if I saw it going down there. I'm really confused. The air's probably confused too. There it was. Okay, let's find out what happens. Ballast with me this time. A few litres of water and a couple of little rocks. Down! Fucking not good at all. Bad news.
So after walking all the way up this side valley, I ended up pretty much just over the top of where I'd previously landed. Bit of a waste of time on a day where I didn't have time to waste.
So it's working on this side. Yeah, it's working on this side. I launched in that snow tongue in there. You can see all that moisture, the cloud from Bavaria pouring over now, so that explains I was in the wrong spot. Well, I still don't understand the really strong valley winds earlier, and I can't seem to fly straight through without noticing them, so that was some kind of transitionary thing, I think. Oh well. I'm pretty hungry. I haven't eaten a few muesli bars today because I expected to glide down last night. They tried to get me to take more food. I was like, oh no, I don't want to carry it up the hill. Pretty dramatic, eh? Without spilling over. Oh. Strange feeling. So I get southwesterly up here. Get those clouds in there. Really hard. And then obviously there's a lot of headwind on the north as soon as I get below that cloud. I'm not even sure if I'm going to get over this thing. It's only 10 k's and I'm on the ridge that I can reach to the Zugspitze, hopefully, but I don't know if I'm going to get there. How's this for convergence? Better if I was actually going up. Sun on this ridge. Well, we're in the German MS now. Expected the wind is side on. I thought I was just going to cream in it. And now I've got a pretty tricky landing. Whoa! Come down. That'll do it. I think I found a few spots of rain. It's overcast here in Bavaria, and another awesome. It was really good to see the guys, and another awesome feed from Pierre. Burgers, I've still got one. I've eaten two. Apple strudel. Well, we can give Nikki the credit for that one because I don't think it came from a shop somewhere. And there's one of his fruit salads with a speculoos, the old Dutch biscuits. Had that paste at his place in Nice years ago. Anyway, I've got to go. I'm going to try and go to this shitty little hill not too far away from the forest I landed in, and try my luck. Hopefully I don't get rained on. I've still got a fair way to get to Lermoos. I guess if the wind isn't right, it won't come up very good.
For sure the dodgiest glide out I've ever had, but it was impossible on top of the hill. It was flat and surrounded by trees. This was slightly better.
It's not very pleasant. It's still an over.
So after this flight I doubled down on the try to fly rather than walk strategy, but as soon as I started going up that ridge to the left, which you can see to Croizek, it started thunderstorming, and I thought it would let up because it was still before 6 PM when I started going up, but it was it finished me.
It's looking slim. My chances of staying in this race. Got a long way to go, even to the turn point. Before I can't fly. I've got nothing better to do than carry a wet wing up a hill. Yeah, I didn't land on the ski slope. I thought so little height, I might just see if I can get a climb. Oh well, oh well.
So this guy Jacob, a local, walked with me up the hill as we got drenched in the thunderstorm. We spent a bit of time in that hut trying to warm up, and then we thought we'd try and get a gap between storms to fly, but the wing was so wet. In fact, even my reserve parachute was soaked and had to be dried the next day. I really had to get off this hill for any chance of catching Gavin in the night on the road. So yeah, unfortunately that was my race. In the end it was the wrong decision to hike up the mountain, and we were eliminated the following morning. Crashed at Jacob's place, and yeah, it's disappointing. I'd like to keep going, but...
So we're off to the pub. No night pass required, APF. Following our trusty host. Yeah, hopefully get a few into me before we do this interview with xalps'21.